In this video, we are going to see the implementation of a singly linked list. So, in the previous video, we have seen the theoretical concept of a singly linked list, how a node is being created or what are the contents of node, etc. So, in this video, we are going to see the technical implementation of a singly linked list, like how to create a linked list, how to insert the elements. Basically, always remember your singly linked list is a collection of elements in a linear manner. Okay, so it is a collection of elements in a linear manner or list of items in a linear manner. So every element is being identified in terms of a node, and a node contains, always remember, a data and then pointer. Okay, or simply to say the address of the next node. Okay, so when you have a collection of elements in a singly linked list, okay, every element is being identified with the help of a node, and that node consists of the data, and every node will have the address of the next node. Okay, so let's say for example I'm trying to insert the values 101, 102, 103 and 104. These are the elements of my singly linked list. Okay, so if you say for example the element 101 will be stored in a node such that it will have the data field and then it will have the address field, that is the address of the second element, that is 102. So let's say for example simply 1010. So this is how my node will look like. Okay, but above all we need to have a start node in your linked list. Okay, basically your start node, it has not got any data. Okay, so it has not got any data, and this start node will have the address of the first node. Always remember the start node will have the address of the first node in your linked list. So your start node is something that is out of the scenario when you try to display the linked list. If you see the content of the linked list, you can see the elements of the linked list, but the start node is not going to be available in the list of elements that is available in your linked list. But it acts as a header node, okay, where it has not got any data. It has not got any data, but it holds the address of the first node. Okay, so these are some of the theoretical concepts that we saw in the previous video. And let's say for example, so if my start node looks like this, -1, so whenever I'm trying to create the node initially, it will not point to any address field. Okay, so let's say for example this is my start node, and this start node is being created in a dynamic memory location. Let's say for example 1004. Okay, now I'm trying to create my first node. Okay, my first node is created with the data that is 101, and that is also initially not pointing to any other node. So whenever you are trying to create a node, you cannot explicitly say that the node will be pointing to some other node. Okay, so basically every node will have the data element and then followed by the pointer field. So remember, I'm just going to term the structure member. So let's say for example node is a structure, and that node will contain the structure member, that is data and then the address. Okay, so basically the address field for any node at the initially when it is trying to get created, it may be null, okay, or it may be pointing to some other node, some other existing node. Okay, anyway, we'll discuss this later. Okay, so first time when I'm trying to create this node, I will try to get the value. I'm trying to assign the element, and then the address field or the pointer field is pointing to the value that is null. So whenever the first node is created, it is also created dynamically. It may be placed in any memory location. It need not be continuous. Okay, it may be placed in any memory location. So let's say for example 1107. Okay, so now if I'm trying to create the linked list, so if I'm trying to create the linked list with these two nodes, okay, then what I'm supposed to do is your address field that is present in your start node, must be mapped to the physical location of your first node. So your physical location of your first node is 1107, that is the memory location of your first node. Okay, so always remember your start node will contain the address of the first node. Your start node will contain the address of the first node, something like this. Okay, so as I told you, your start node will contain it will not contain any data, so I'm simply representing it in terms of -1, but it will hold the address of the first node. Okay, so this is my newly created linked list. Okay, only with one node, that is 101. Okay, so this is my singly linked list that I have created. Okay, so that is 101. So this is how my linked list looks like. Okay, so initially we have created the respective nodes, start node as well as the first node, and once we are trying to create the linked list, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to refer the first node address in the address field of my start node. Okay, so if I'm trying to let's say for example, now if I'm trying to include one more node, that is 102 in the existing singly linked list. So let's say for example, this is my available linked list. Now I have another node, my second node, and it has got the data that is 102, and it has got the address field value that is equal to null. So whenever a node is being created, dynamic memory is being allocated. So let's say for example, I'm having the memory location at 1009. Now if I want to include this particular node in my existing linked list, this is my existing linked list. After the start node to the first node, this is my existing linked list. Then what happens is, okay, so what happens is you are starting from the header node. Okay, so your header node points to the address of the first node. Okay, so I am visiting the address of the first node. I am visiting the address of the first node. There I can see the element that is 101. Okay, and I have to include this particular second node. Okay, this particular second node has to be included in my linked list. Okay, so if this particular second node has to be included in my linked list, then the memory address of the second node should be added or updated in the address field of my first node. Okay, so this is the concept. So whenever you are trying to add a node at the end of your linked list, you have to ensure that the last node that is present in your linked list should be updated with the address of the new node. Okay, so this is the concept that we are going to trying to implement now. Okay, so how my new linked list will look like. So my singly linked list after inserting the second element. Okay, so singly linked list after node 2 has been inserted. After node 2 has been inserted, so it will look like this: 101. Then the next node is 102. So 2 records have been inserted now. So the same applies for all the other records that we are trying to implement. Okay, 103 and 104. Okay, so I'm trying to get into the code directly now. Okay, so please go through this video carefully one by one after the explanation. Okay, so I'm first trying to include my preprocessor directives, include stdio.h, conio.h, stdlib.h, so I'm trying to create the node of a structured data type, and every node, as I told you, will have a data and it will have a address of the next field. So in order to hold the address of the next node, okay, I'm trying to create a pointer variable. Okay, and this pointer variable is going to hold the address of another node. Okay, so the data type of this pointer variable will be the node itself. Okay, so this is actually called as a self-referential structure, where one of the structure member is having a self-reference to the node itself. Okay, self-reference to the structure itself. Okay, so this is an example for your self-referential structure. Okay, so where one of the structure member is actually a reference to the structure itself. Okay, so now I'm trying to declare my main function. So in my main function, what I'm trying to do is I'm creating a structure variable for the structure that is node. Okay, so basically I have to create two nodes. One is the header node or the start node. Okay, and the other one is the first node that I have to create. Okay, so basically we are going to make use of the pointer variable, okay, which will hold the address of these nodes. Okay, so in order to represent the address of the nodes, okay, the respective nodes, that is header node as well as the first node, okay, the address is required in order to create the structure members, that is data as well as the pointer of another variable. Okay, so in that perspective, what I'm doing is I'm trying to create a pointer variable of the data type structure, that is node. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are just trying to create the memory allocation. Okay, so first I have to create the memory allocation in a dynamic manner for the header node. Okay, so I'm going to make use of the function malloc. Okay, and I'm just trying to get the size of my structure, because since the data type of the field, that is, since the data type of the structure variable, that is head, okay, it is of the structure data type node. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the size of the structure, that is node. Okay, so structure node will be placed in a particular memory location. Okay, so basically your declaration will not create any memory space, but once you have a variable that is going to get declared for a structure variable, then only the memory space will be allocated. Okay, so here what we are trying to do is we are trying to retrieve the size of the structure, that is node. Okay, and once the size has been retrieved, that much amount of memory space will be allocated, and the malloc function will return the address of the first byte of your memory allocation. Okay, so basically it will try to return a void pointer. Okay, so if you have still doubts regarding the malloc functionality, we can refer the previous videos where we have discussed a lot about the dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so here this malloc is going to give me a pointer value in terms of void data type, So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to do a typecasting here. Okay, so I'm just going to do a typecasting from void to the target data type. Okay, so the target data type is I need to store a node, okay, of a structured data type, Okay, so the amount of space that is being retrieved through the malloc function will be applied on the data type, that is structure node. Okay, and this amount of memory location, this particular memory location, okay, it will be assigned to the variable, that is head. Okay, so this is the syntax in order to create your dynamic memory for your structure variable. Okay, so the node has been created. So the node has been first created, okay, with the pointer variable head. So basically your pointer variable will hold the address. Okay, so in order to determine the address, what we are trying to do is we are trying to make use of the malloc function, that is the dynamic memory allocation function. So there we are trying to get the size of your node. Okay, so those much amount of memory space will be allocated by the malloc function, but the function is going to return a void pointer value. Okay, so void pointer in the sense it will retrieve the address of the first byte of your memory allocation. Okay, that has to be typecasted to the target data type. Okay, so my target data type is a structure variable. Okay, it's of a structure, okay, of the name, that is node. Okay, so now what happens is a dynamic memory has been created for my head node, okay, or the start node. So my start node will look like, you will have a data and it will have a pointer value. Okay, so this is how my start node looks like, and so basically some memory space has been allocated. So some memory space has been allocated now in the dynamic, through the dynamic memory. Okay, so now I'm just going to update the data field in my head node. Okay, that is the start node. Okay, so the data field, basically your start node will not have any data. I'm just simply putting it as -1 as of now, and the pointer value, okay, the pointer field will be mapped to null. So because I'm just initially creating the node. Okay, so whenever I'm trying to initially create the node, okay, it will not have any value. Okay, so basically it will not have any value. Start node will not have any value. Now I'm just trying to create the first node. Okay, I'm just trying to create the first node. Okay, so I'm just giving a message, creation of first node, and I'm asking the, okay, so first we have to create the first node. So in order to create your first node, again we are going to make use of the same code piece. So first is actually a pointer variable. So listen here, first is actually a pointer variable that will hold the address of another variable. Okay, so here what happens is this particular variable will hold the address that has been created dynamically. Okay, so let's say for example, okay, the memory location that we have given is 1107. Okay, so 1107. So the explanation remains same. as what we saw for your header node. Okay, so dynamic memory has been created with the help of the malloc function, and it has been typecasted to the structure node, and the variable, the pointer variable, first is holding the value that is the address of the dynamic node that has been created. Okay, so initially the data value as well as the pointer value is not yet created. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the value from the user. Okay, so I'm creating a variable here, int value. So I'm just asking the user to enter the first element of the linked list. So using a scanf function, I'm just getting the value from the user and I'm storing it in the variable that is value. So this value will be assigned to the data field that is present in your first node. So always remember, both head as well as first, both are of structure variable, and we are trying to make use of the structure variable directly in order to access the structure member. Okay, and since this particular structure variable is of pointer type, okay, so we have to make use of the arrow operator in order to access the structure member. Okay, so we have to make use of the arrow operator or a point-to-point operator, okay, in order to access the structure member that is present. Okay, so the value that we got from the user has been assigned to the data field of your first node. Okay, and your first node will not have any address as of now to point to the next node. Okay, so let's say for example the user is trying to enter the value 101, then this is how my first node will look like. So it will have the data field, and it will have a pointer value that is equal to null. So remember, we have just created both the nodes. Okay, so the start node is created and the first node is created, but still the linked list is not yet created, because basically your singly linked list, okay, it will have a pointer, okay, to the other nodes. It will have a pointer, every node will have a pointer to the other nodes except the terminal node, okay. So here the start node, okay, initially it has got the address field value as null. But now if you are trying to create the linked list, what happens is the address field of the first node should be updated instead of null. Okay, so here let's say for example the address field has been created. Okay, so the head of the pointer value of the head node is null now. Okay, now this has to be reassigned. Once the first node has been created, the pointer field that is present in your header node should be updated to the address of your first node. Okay, so this is the syntax, and now if you see your your singly linked list is now created. Okay, so here the singly linked list is, let's say for example I have the head node, and the head node is pointing to the data that is present in the first node. Okay, so first node pointed towards the data. So I just complete my main function with the return value. So when I run this piece of code, so let's say for example the first element is being entered, that is 101. Okay, so you can see the starting node is pointing to the first record. Okay, so the start node or the header node is pointing to the first record. So now moving on, what we are going to do is we are supposed to see how you can create the further nodes. Okay, so next I'm going to create the second node. Okay, and this second node should be merged with the existing linked list. So as of now my existing linked list is in such a way like this. Okay, now once I add the second node on top of this, okay, so my linked list should look in such a way that, okay, the first node earlier it was having the address field value as null. So once the second node is being created, the address of the second node should be updated in the address field of the first node. Okay, so that is what we are going to see now. So here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write a while loop that is always true, and I'm just going to ask the user to perform the following operations. Okay, So 1 stands for insertion, and 2 stands for displaying the linked list, and 3 stands for exit, to exit the application. And I'm just going to ask the user to enter his choice. So using a scanf statement, I'm just going to get the choice from the user. So I declare another integer variable, that is choice. So now, okay, so once the choice has been received, I'm using a switch case statement. I'm passing the choice value inside the switch block. So in the first case, so if the user has entered 1, then I have to ask the user to enter the element to be inserted in the linked list. Okay, so enter the element to be inserted. So let's say, for example, I'm getting the value from the user and I'm storing it in the value, that is variable, that is value. So now let's say, for example, 102 is the value that I'm going to enter. Okay, so 102 is the value that I'm going to enter. So the node has to be created for 102. Okay, so the node has to be created for 102. Okay, so we have to first create a dynamic memory for this particular node, and then we have to enter the assign this value that has been entered by the user during the runtime. So now what happens is the node has been created and the value has been updated inside the node. Now this node has to be connected with the existing linked list, okay, so in the existing linked list, okay, so you already have the value that is 101. So in the existing single linked list, you have the value that is 101. So if you see the output screen, you can see the value that is 101 is getting reflected, okay, in the output. So this is my existing linked list. Okay, so here I have to add the value that is 102. So remember, your existing linked list has got the address field value as null. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to start from the header node. Every time we are going to visit the address that has been pointed in the header node. Okay, so the header node is going to point to the address of the first node. Okay, so we are going to visit the address of the first node. Okay, so we are going to visit the address of the first node, and if the address of the first node is going to have the null value, or any visiting node is going to have the null value, then what we are supposed to do is the new node that has been created should be updated with the corresponding address of the second node. Okay, so that is, your first node is having the null value in the address field. Okay, so whatever node is having the address field value as a null value, that should be pointed to the address field of the newly created node. So this is the concept. So here what I'm going to do is I'm just writing a function. So I'm just calling a function insert, and I'm going to pass the value and the address of the starting node or the head node. Okay, so the address of the start node or the head node. Okay, so here we have the value. Okay, so this will carry this particular statement will actually create a memory space for the variable that is head. Okay, so head is actually the header node. It's basically a pointer variable. So this pointer variable holds the address of your head node. Okay, so that head node is getting passed in the function. Okay, so I'm just trying to break this case. Okay, so let's come back to the other cases. So first we will try to write the function definition for the insert. Okay, so here first I'm going to declare the function. So you are passing the value that is of integer data type, and you are passing the address of the head node. Okay, that is of a structured data type node. So this is my function definition. So here, function declaration is done. So now I'm writing a function definition. So what happens here is we have to create a new node. Okay, so remember, a new node has to be created. If I want to insert, then the new node has to be created. So I'm just creating a structure variable of new node. Okay, so I'm going to make use of the same piece of code for creating the new node. Okay, so instead of first, I'm just going to have a new node. So a memory space will be created with the data field and then the pointer field. So whenever the new node is being created, the data field will have the value that is being passed through the function call. Okay, so through the function call, we are going to make use of the formal parameter, that is n. So your actual argument, okay, so your actual argument is value. Okay, so 102 is getting passed along with the address of the head node. Okay, so here let's say for example the address of the head node is 1004. Okay, so the address of the head field is 1004. So 1004 is getting passed in this particular function definition. So n will have the value that is 102 and your start will have the value that is 1004. Okay, so start is basically a pointer variable. It will catch hold of the address of the variable that is getting passed. Okay, so here, so whatever value is getting passed, so your new node will have the data. Okay, so your new node will have the data that is getting passed through the n variable. Okay, and I'm going to update the pointer field in the new node as null. Okay, so your new node is getting created now. Okay, so the second node is getting created. Okay, where the value has been entered 102. Okay, and the pointer field is updated as null. Now what I'm going to do is, I have to, as I told you, I'm just going to start from the start node. Okay, I'm going to visit the address field of every node that is being present. Okay, so here let's say for example I'm trying to create another pointer variable p that will hold the address of your header node or the start node. Okay, so this will hold the address of your start node. Okay, so start node has got the value that is 1004. So what I'm going to do is, in the field of 1004, okay, so in 1004 I'm just going to see what is the value that is present in the address field. Okay, so in 1004 I'm just going to see what is the value that is present in the address field. So in order to identify the value that is present in the address field, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to make use of the arrow operator. I'm just going to make use of the arrow operator, and then I'm going to point out to the field name that is pointer. Okay, so this means that, okay, in the address value that is 1004, so p has got the value that is 1004. Okay, 1004. Okay, so let me do like this. P has got the value 1004. So in the 1004th memory location, we are going to see what is the pointer field value. What is the pointer field value? And what is the pointer field value there? Here we have 1107. Okay, so the address field is pointing to 1107. So 1107 is nothing but the address of your first node. 1107 is the address of your first node. Okay, so it is the address of your first node. Okay, so it is pointing to 1107. So this 1107 is checked with a condition that is not equal to null. Okay, so if this field is not equal to null, then we are just going to visit the corresponding memory location. Okay, so what we are going to do is, so we are going to visit the corresponding memory location. Okay, so there what we are going to do is, we are just going to let's say for example, so remember your p of pointer, okay, that is p arrow pointer to ptr. Okay, it has got the value that is 1107. So I'm just going to check the condition 1107 not equal to null. This condition is true. So when this condition is true, okay, so when this condition is true, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to visit the next field. Okay, I'm just going to visit the next field. Okay, so because the idea says that, okay, your terminal node in your linked list will have the null value. your terminal node in the linked list will have the null value, and on top of the terminal node we have to add the new node. On top of that we have to add the new node. So basically here I am taking the example, the insertion of nodes at the end of your linked list. Okay, so here just a small trick, what I'm going to do is this particular value p of ptr, okay, so this will be assigned to the value that is p. So now what happens is already p of ptr, okay, that is p arrow operator ptr has got the value that is 1107, and this value is getting assigned to the variable that is p. Okay, so the loop continues. So in this particular scenario what happens is second time, okay, you are going to have the value that is 1107. So remember p of ptr indicates that 1107 pointed to the pointer variable. Okay, so here I'm going to the memory location 1107. Okay, so I'm visiting the first node. In that first node, okay, I'm just seeing the field value of address. Okay, so the field value of address is null. So if you see here, you have got the condition that is null. So now if you see the condition null is not equal to null, the condition will fail. The condition will fail and you come out of the loop. Okay, so as I told you, when you come out of the loop, here when we are trying to add the second node that has been created, okay, the second node that has been created, okay, that address of the second node should be mapped in the address field of the first node. Okay, so the address field of the first node is currently holding the value that is null. Okay, now this null should be equated to the address field of the second node. Okay, so now the null value is present, okay, in this particular expression. Okay, the null value is present in this particular expression p of ptr. Okay, so basically now the p value has become null. After the statement has been executed in your while loop, your p value becomes null. Okay, but the right hand side of the expression has p arrow operator to ptr that is holding the value null. Okay, so this will be assigned to the address of your new node. Okay, so this is how you are going to create the new nodes, and then the address of the new node will be assigned to the address field of the terminal node. Okay, so this is one example. Okay, let me repeat again. So here what happens is the value 102 is getting passed to the function that is insert along with the address field of the start node or the header node. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just trying to create a new node. Okay, that is getting a dynamic memory, and in the new node, okay, in the data field, with the help of the arrow operator, I'm just giving the value that is n. N is getting assigned. Okay, so n value is being passed through the function call, and in the new node, the address field of the next node is mapped to null. Okay, so this means that the address field of the next node, is null. Okay, so now in order to make this new node, okay, connected to the existing linked list, what I'm doing is I'm taking the address of the header node or the start node, okay, that is getting assigned to a pointer variable that is p. So p is another variable that I have created here. Okay, so now what happens is I'm just trying to insert the new node, okay, in my existing linked list. So in the start node, okay, we have got the address that is 1004. Okay, so 1004 is the address of the starting node or the header node. So in the header node's location, we are going and seeing what is the address field value. The address field value is 1107. So 1107 is the address of the first node. 1107 is the address of the first node. Okay, it is not equal to null. The condition is true. So what I'm doing is I'm just entering the while loop block. Okay, in the while loop block I have an assignment statement. Okay, so p of ptr. Okay, so p of ptr indicates that is 1107. So p is getting assigned to the value 1107. Now listen carefully. So in 1107 I am just going to see what is the pointer field value. Okay, so in 1107 the pointer field value as of now, okay, before the second node is getting inserted, the value is null. So in 1107, okay, the pointer field value is null. Okay, so now I'm just checking the condition. Okay, so null is not equal to null. Null is not equal to null. The condition fails. Okay, so I just come out of the loop. Okay, so null is being holded in the right hand side of this expression. Okay, so basically when I'm trying to connect the second node to the terminal node, so here if you see in the existing linked list, okay, your first node is the terminal node. Okay, so if I want to connect the second node, okay, to the first node, what I have to do is I have to map the address of the second node, okay, the address of the second node to the address field of the first node. Okay, so the address field of the first node is lying as null, that should be assigned with the address of the second node. Okay, so second node is a newly created node. So what I have done is the address of the new node is being created, okay, and that has been assigned in the place of null. Okay, and it has been with the expression that is the structure variable p. Okay, with the help of the arrow operator, I'm just making use of the structure member, that is ptr. Okay, so if I'm trying to insert one more value, okay, I'm again pressing 1 and I'm trying to insert one more value, that is 103. So 103. So what happens here is again you will have the value 103 and then 1004 will be passed as the input argument. So 103 and 1004 will be passed as the input argument. Okay, so now what happens is again the process is same. Let me take these off. So this is my existing linked list. Okay, this is my existing linked list. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create another node. Let's say for example the third node is 103. It has got another dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just again going to visit the address of the first start node. Okay, so the address field in the start node is having 1107. So I'm going to the 1107 memory location. There I'm seeing the another address node that is not equal to null. So when it is not equal to null, I am going to visit again the corresponding address field, and here I have seen the address field value is null. So here what I am trying to do is this null should be replaced by the address field of the third node, that is a new node that is getting created. Okay, so what I am going to do is here if you want to add the third node in the existing linked list, then the address of the third node should be mapped, or it will be replaced in the place of null. Okay, if we do so, then what happens is your existing singly linked list will look like this: 101, 102 and 103. Okay, so this is the procedure. So here, so you are trying to pass 103 and 1004. So 103 is getting assigned in the data field. Okay, and it has got the pointer value that is null. Okay, so 1004 is the starting node of, the address of the start node, okay, or the header node. Okay, so in 1004 memory location, we are going to see the pointer field. Okay, the pointer field has got the value that is 1107. See here, it has got the value 1107. Okay, so it has got the value 1107. So I'm just checking the condition, that is 1107 is not equal to null. The condition is true. The condition is true. So what I'm doing is here I'm just assigning that particular value to the variable, that is p. So why? Because we have to go to the location of 1107 and we have to see what is the address field value. Okay, so in 1107, so the loop continues. Okay, so p of pointer, okay, so p arrow mark to the pointer, okay, it gives me a value 1107 and that 1107 is assigned to the variable, that is p here. Okay, so now what happens is I'm just visiting the next condition. Okay, so here in the address field of 1107 I'm just visiting the pointer value. I'm just visiting the pointer value. So here the pointer value is in 1107, the pointer value is 1009. The value is 1009. So the value is 1009. So I'm just checking the condition whether 1009 is not equal to null. The condition is true. So now the p value becomes the p value becomes 1009. Okay, p value becomes 1009. So what happens here is next I'm again visiting this particular field. Okay, so when I'm seeing the loop condition, I'm just visiting 1109 and I'm going to see the pointer field value in 1109. So I'm just visiting 1009, that is the address of the second node, and there I'm seeing the pointer field value. The pointer field value is null. Okay, so this is equal to null, and I'm just checking the condition whether null not equal to null. Okay, the condition fails. The condition fails. Okay, so I'm just coming out of the loop now. I'm just coming out of the loop. So when I'm coming out of the loop, so what means that I have to assign the address of the third node. Okay, so I've got the null value, and this null value should be replaced by the address of the third node, that is 1100. Okay, so the third node is present in the address 1100, and that 1100 has to be updated in the place of null. Okay, which is the address field of the second node. Okay, so the address field of the second node should be pointing to the address of the third node. So null should be replaced with the address of the new node. Okay, so null is being identified, okay, with the help of the pointer variable and its corresponding pointer field. Okay, so that is why what I'm doing is I'm taking the pointer field, okay, of the pointer variable, and now that is getting assigned to the new node. So when you try to come out of this particular loop, okay, so p of ptr will definitely have the value null. Okay, and that null will be replaced by the address of the new node. Okay, so this is the concept of insertion. Okay, you are trying to insert at the end of your linked list, existing linked list. Okay, so next we are going to see how you can display the linked list. Okay, so let's say for example I'm just writing another declaration for the function. So I'm just going to pass the header node. So in order to display your linked list, okay, remember I'm going to give only the data alone, 101, 102 and 103. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the address field of the start node. Okay, so the address field of the start node will give me the location of the first node. So in that location of the first node, I'm going to see what is the data and I'm going to print it. So this process will continue until the address field of the node has null. Okay. So I'm just going for the declaration part of the function with the value that is start. So I'm just giving the case 2. the created linked list is, so I'm just calling the function that is display, and I'm passing the address of the head node. Okay, so the address of the head node is 1004, so the address field will be passed. So I'm just giving a break. I'm writing the case 3 as well, so the user will exit the application, and I have a default case. For an invalid entry from the user. So my switch case ends and my while loop also ends. So now I'm going to write the definition for the function display. So this function will have a formal argument that will catch hold of the address of your head node. Okay, head node. So since the address that is getting caught for the variables of node type, okay, of structure, so here the formal argument will be created in the data type of the structure node itself. So here I'm trying to create one more variable of a struct data type, so that will assign the address of your start node. Okay, that will assign the address of your start node. So P will have the address of your start node. Okay, so that is 1004. P will have the address of 1004. And in that 1004, okay, I'm just going to see the pointer node. Okay, I'm just going to see the pointer node, and that will give me the address of the first node. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the pointer field that is present for the start node. Okay, so your start node is having the address that is 1004. Okay, and in that 1004 location I'm going to see what is the pointer field value. That pointer field value is 1107. That is the address of the first node. So your P has got the value that is 1107. That is the address of the first node. Okay, so now what I'm going to see is I'm just going to check the condition whether that address field that is present in the node is not equal to null, and if this is true, I'm just going to print the data that is present in the corresponding address. Okay, so what it means that 1107 is not equal to null. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to print the data that is present in the address location of 1107. Okay, so in 1107 memory location I have the address, I have the value that is 101. So I'm just going to print the value that is 101. So here I'm just so I'm just giving the value that is 101 should be printed. So here I'm making use of the pointer variable P and then its corresponding data that is present in the corresponding memory location, and then I have to move to the next field, right? So if I want to move to the next node, okay, so currently I'm located in the first node. That is 1107, and if I want to move to the next node, then I have to see what is the address of the next node that is present in the first node. Okay, so here I'm currently located in the first node. Okay, I'm currently located in the first node, and that value, the address of that particular node is being stored in the variable that is P. So I'm just going to see the pointer field value of the location P. So in 1107, the location, I'm just going to see what is the pointer value. It is pointing to the address of the second node. That is 1009. Okay, 1009. So what I'm going to do is So it is pointing to the value that is 1009. So this value will be assigned to the value that is P. Okay, so now you have the condition that is 1009 is there. 1009 is not equal to null. Okay, the condition is true. So I am going to look for the data that is present in 1009. Okay, so in 1009, what is the data that has been present? Okay, so in 1009 field, I have the data that is 102. I have the data that is 102. So 102 will be printed. Okay, so you'll have the value 101 initially from the first node. So now you have the value that is 102. So 102 will be printed. Okay, so in the same location, that is 1009. Okay, so now we are present in 1009. Okay, we are present in 1009. So in this particular 1009th location, we are going to see what is the address field of that particular node. Okay, so again going up, so in 1009 we are going to see what is the address field that is present. So it is 1100 1100. So this value 1100 will be assigned to the value that is P. So P has got the value now 1100. Okay, so this 1100 will be checked, that is not equal to null. Okay, so now we are going to visit the memory location that is 1100. So there we are going to see what is the data. So in 1100 we are here and we are going to see what is the data. The data is 103. Okay, so that 103 will be printed here. That 103 will be printed. So in that memory location of 1100, we are going to see the pointer value, and the pointer value is now equal to null, and we are again running the loop. When we run the loop, we can see that null is not equal to null. The condition fails and we are going to come out of the loop. Okay, so this ends my function definition for display. So when I run the piece of code, so you are getting this warning. Why? Because I have kept the condition in while loop is always true. Okay, so that doesn't matter. So I'm just running the piece of code. Okay, so the first element that I'm going to enter is, let's say for example 23 or 23. So I just want to go the insertion part. The element to be inserted is 34. Then again I want to insert one more element, let's say for example 25. Now I want to display the linked list. So you can see that your linked list is getting displayed, okay, with the 3 elements 23, 34 and 25. Okay, so I'm giving the choice as the entry 3 and I'm exiting the application. Okay, so again, if you have any queries related to this particular video, you can post your questions in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.